Felipe, can you hear me now?
Nope. Uh, oh,
Hmm.
try again.
All right, I'm trying. Testing, testing.
Yes. Nah, it was a
Perfect.
mistake.
All right.
Danny.
Excellent. How you
Oh,
doing, Filippo?
oh my
Congratulations.
God! This is so incredible to have you here. Wow.
It's
Thank you
wonderful
very
to have
much.
you
And
on. Yeah.
this is the first time that we speak actually, like in
I suppose it is.
person.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're going to
Yeah.
meet in person at SVP, and that's going to be great, but it's
Oh,
cool to. I'm
absolutely.
really excited for
Yeah.
that, but it's awesome to connect over this platform first. How has
Yeah.
your day been so far? What does it feel like to finally have this thing published?
I was just telling to my people that I've been up since 8 o'clock in the morning,
Uh huh.
and I've been spinning around since 7 because, as you know, I'm not doing academic job. I am in a lab, so I
Mm-hmm.
had that other job to follow.
Right.
And usually I'm there, with with my fossils to prepare it. And say, okay, this is gonna be another day where I stand in front of a bone and I just have my incisor and da da da. No, today we decided to do other stuff that requires my heavy presence for physical activity like moving, cleaning, and stuff.
Ah.
In the same time, I had the paper out, so press release, post, journalist calling.
Uh huh.
I When I came back home at 5. I had a virtual meeting with a student. Then I had to prepare
Uh
for
huh.
my live. And then, ah, and my phone is like ringing since
Right.
this
Yeah.
midday. So
Well, if in
hello,
the middle
guys.
of this, if you get a phone call from the BBC or from a big news organization or something, take that call. I can call back
Oh,
later.
come
You've
on,
got
come
important
on,
things
man.
going on right now, so if that happens, that's totally
Come
fine.
on, man.
We understand.
It's it's 11:30 in the night here in Belgium. Come on, I'm
Okay.
not going. And even if I receive any, I won't reply. I'm so tired.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, thank you so much for staying up for all of us, though. I've been looking forward to this, and sorry it took me so long to respond to your email earlier too. I've been very busy lately. I'm getting ready to leave for the field again this week, and there's a lot of things
I
going on.
hate you. I
But
hate you. I-
well, at least we're not digging up iguanodonts this time. It's just ankylosaurs, so
You just did a few months ago. What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah, yeah. Well, a new species or two is that's par for the course. Yeah. um, you know about this.
True,
Have you
but
talked to Karen Poole at all about the new iguanodonts?
not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm scared that Karin's mad to me because I didn't use her phylogeny. So I
Oh,
hope she's not mad. I hope
Karen
she's not
is
mad at me.
Karen is very sweet. She's not going to be mad at you at all. No. Um,
Can you get any more volume out? No, I'm all up. So I will. I Because I had some problem with my microphone. Need to stay very close to my microphone to have a good audio. So
Here, I'll turn the audio up there, Claire, so
okay.
that we should be able to hear Filippo better. Yeah,
Hello, guys. How are you? Wow, in front of
that should be better.
200 people. I'm not used to stay in front of 200 people. Usually, my
Hey,
lives
get
are
used
what,
to it.
10
It'll be
people.
pretty soon. Now you've got a new iguanodont. People are going to be flocking to you. Yeah,
I hope so.
yeah. So yeah, would you like to introduce yourself real quick to the chat? For anybody who's not aware of Dyson Dinosaur, he also does science outreach here on Twitch, and he's a real life dinosaur paleontologist like me, but he's on the traditional academic track. And yeah, what do you do, Filippo?
As for every academic track, I'm unemployed.
That's very common. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, hi guys. My name is Filippo Bertozzo. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist currently residing here in Belgium. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist, meaning I work with especially ornithischians and ornithopods. I am specialized in their biology and especially behavior and pathologies. So I study what kind of disease, and maladies, and lesions they suffer from, and I use those information to reconstruct the lifestyle of especially ornithopods. But hey, I also published on theropods last year, so such tra- a treason.
Yeah. um,
And sometimes I do scientific communication on Twitch, Instagram. I try at least.
yeah. I mean, it's important, and it's important to do that in languages other than English too. I feel like if there's any language that's overrepresented in science communication, it's probably English.
But it's
You
also a
do
good
most of your
thing
work
because
in Italian, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
decided to start English streams on Sunday. Well, for me it's night, like now.
Uh huh.
But for you it's like what is early afternoon, midday?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
around that time. But the only time that I can do it is on Sunday. So I don't know what kind of people stay on Twitch on Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't get any people, but
Some people
at
do.
least I
Yeah,
try. Yeah,
yeah,
Golganek here and Pyro Kitty sometimes is there. So yeah, I mean it's a tidy little streams together. So that's
yeah.
fine.
Those are fun, and I try and encourage some of my colleagues to do things like this. Not necessarily streaming on Twitch, but at least anything that can get them to talk to the general public about their work. I think it makes us as scientists better communicators. It makes us more aware of what people in the general public understand about our science and what they don't. It makes us better scientists overall to do this kind of communication work. So I applaud you for doing that. And I don't
Thank
feel
you.
like there's a tremendous amount of that that goes on in the Italian language. So I feel like you're filling an important niche there. Yeah.
We try, and maybe you know what, in SVP we can talk about this, and maybe we can talk maybe with some other. I don't know if Kirsten Formoso is gonna be there. She's also does Twitch.
Yeah, I met her last year. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, we are friends. She came on Belgium in 2022 actually for her PhD.
Oh, cool.
So maybe we can sit together and maybe plan something together for the future. That would be very cool.
That would be really,
I don't
really
know.
cool.
I
Yeah.
know that for me the difficult point will be my time, but who
Hmm.
cares? We are people of the night.
Sometimes we have to be. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
as a researcher, the best time to write papers are in the night.
you think so? Interesting.
Yes,
My
yes.
favorite
I
time to write
actually.
papers is like 5 o'clock in the morning. As soon as I wake up, maybe I go for a little run and I come back and then I just write. That's
What's wrong with you? Morning are done to sleep. I would love to
uh
sleep in the morning. I have to get up to work, and so I try to sleep in the. What is wrong with
there's
you?
morning people, there's night
I know.
people. Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I know, I know. Yeah. Um yeah, yeah. So thank you so much for sending me the press packet for all of this. I'm flattered that you would trust me with that. I didn't send it to anybody else. I've been very excited about this broadcast.
Yeah,
Uh,
me too.
yeah, yeah. Who have you sent this out to so far, and what kind of press do you expect to get about this?
We got a very white cover in in Portugal, of course, and
Nice.
in Belgium. My girlfriend, who's also here in the chat,
Uh huh.
she's from Belgium, and so she's been scanning the news from France and from
Very
Belgium,
nice.
and actually she told me I ended up in one of the major portal for Belgium and France, and also Netherlands.
Uh
I
huh.
discovered. I know tomorrow there's gonna be more on the Italian journals.
Uh huh.
Uh, and I don't know if in the US maybe something will come out because actually Donald Serio from he was in the John Hopkins, but I know that he's changed now university, but he's also in the paper. So
Uh
I
huh.
don't know if he's gonna do something for the American press release. I hope so, but we'll see.
Excellent. Cool. Yeah, I was checking some of my normal like paleontology news websites, and I didn't see anything yet. However, there's already a fairly lengthy article on Wikipedia about the new
Yeah,
taxon.
I saw. Wikipedia was crazy because
Yeah,
Cariosecus actually I'm so sorry, man. The pronunciation was wrong for you. It's Cariosecus.
Cardiocercus.
Cariosecus.
Cardiosecus.
Exactly. Cariosecus bocagei.
Okay. Okay, okay. Cardiosecus bocochet.
Exactly.
All right.
Actually, the Cariosecus Wikipedia appeared like after 1 hour or something like that. The paper I was like,
They have spies everywhere. That is
I
astonishing. Was it an author on the paper who wrote the article on Wikipedia or
absolutely not.
no? How did
I'm
they
pretty
find out
sure
then? That's astonishing.
Your guess is better than mine. I don't know.
Wow, that is. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Can somebody post the article in the chat there to Wikipedia? But yeah, that's when I was waiting in line to get my COVID shot this morning. I just thought, oh, I'll see if it's anywhere in the news yet. So I'm just searching the Google News, and there's nothing so far. And then Wikipedia, already there's an article, and already it's got the citation for your paper and everything, and it's like 4 or 5 paragraphs. Yeah. So I don't know how they do it, but I frequently tell people if there's a particular topic that you're interested with regard to dinosaurs, Wikipedia is usually your best bet for information because then
I
you
remember
can
wh- I remember
yeah.
when people was in the past was like mocking Wikipedia, like, ah, you wrote that, you read that in Wikipedia, and now it's become one of the best resources ever. How
Absolutely,
things
yeah.
change.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's true for other fields, but for dinosaur paleontology, it is the single best source of information online. It is
Absolutely.
incredible. And it's incredibly up to date too. Case in point. Karyosekos.
Yeah. And there is a great story behind the name. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Tell us about that.
But
Yeah, but yeah, what do you want to talk about first with regard to this animal?
first of all, one of the things that you asked me, and I pretty sure that you're gonna enjoy this.
Uh-huh. Oh man, look at that. That is beautiful. My
So
goodness. I'm a little bit
all
jealous.
bones, all bones of Cariosecus are in thick share,
Uh-huh.
and the link is in the paper, as well as the CT scans of the maxilla and the brain case. So
Mm-hmm.
you can download and print. This is not on Fixture, but I'm gonna send you the file if you want to print it.
I would love that. I will print that tonight if you send me the files. That is, and it's a decent size too. That's really nice.
That's
Um,
1 to 1.
yeah, yeah,
And
that's
also,
phenomenal.
I have the bag of mystery that was so I cook this paper in my lives since 1 year, and on
Uh-huh.
this bag, Lang, so the bag of mysteries now it's not mysterious anymore because I have all the specimens printed.
Wow. So these
So
are
I
all the
can
individual skull bones?
yes, these are the files that you can download from Fixture.
Nice.
They are all scaled,
Uh-huh.
so perfect. Now I plan to paint them, and in the future build up a little mount to have the skull like in position,
Uh-huh.
uh, and everything.
Very cool. Are you gonna glue them all together, or are you gonna have them a little bit separate so that you can show all the
Separate,
individual?
separate.
So
Yeah,
sort of an exploded view.
yeah,
Very, very cool. Oh man, that is gonna be neat. I can't wait to see that. Yeah. Um, that is fantastic, and I can't wait to print
yeah.
this
I
thing.
mean,
Yeah.
I can still believe it, man.
Uh-huh.
I know that so these things change between people in our field. Some
Yeah.
people want to do, other people don't care. There are superficial people, there are more focused people, and I mean there are all sorts of people. For me, naming a dinosaur has always been the thing for me to do as a paleontologist.
Right.
It's something that I always dreamed to do since I was a kid, and I did it now, and it still doesn't feel like real.
Hopefully it'll set in within the next few days. I think it'll be once I don't know, once you've started to do some news interviews and stuff like that, maybe it'll start to feel real. Or maybe at SVP when people ask you about this animal or something. But I think it'll set in eventually. It's
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Actually,
and
I think the SVP of this year is gonna be very fun
uh-huh.
because well, I cannot spoiler too much, but you already spoiled together with Denver.
Uh-huh.
But in October there's gonna be another paper of mine coming out, and it's gonna for me it's gonna be very fun to be at SVP after these two paper are out, especially the second one,
Uh-huh.
because oh boy, oh boy. We are studying how to frame the press release for that paper so much because
Okay.
we need to be very careful how to phrase anything because I don't want to
Yeah, when
speak too
you're
much of that because today here we are here for Cariosecus, but for that It's
Sure.
gonna be a topic where the media can go very bad.
Yeah, I can understand that because you're dealing with the reproductive behavior of these animals, right?
Yeah,
So you've got to be
yeah,
careful about how you phrase that.
a lot, especially when you deal with what we study in relation
Right.
to mating.
Uh huh.
So I'm both excited and terrified.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Yeah, I can understand that for sure. Uh, Interesting. And sometimes language barriers can be difficult like that too, because certain phrases might be perfectly innocent in one language, but they might sound very inappropriate in
Yeah.
another language. So being able to have people with multiple different language backgrounds consult on this might be really useful. Is Denver one of the authors on that paper too?
Denver
Good.
and
Okay.
Leeds.
And Liz too.
Because
Excellent. Yeah.
yeah, our agreement at the beginning was that we are all together in the project. So I was more
Excellent.
than happy to invite Denver and Leeds in the paper.
Uh huh.
So
That's fantastic. Oh man, that's gonna be really. That's gonna get a lot of attention. I think maybe
I
even more than
think
this paper. We'll
I
see.
I think that paper will burn Cariosecus out. I'm absolutely sure because the media will jump in the pool like flies on the honey.
I I think you're correct. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I'm excited for you. That's gonna be really interesting. And I presume you already have somebody doing the illustrations for that as well. No.
you'll s- you'll see the illustration.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
There are a few surprises for
Uh
the
huh.
paleo art in that paper, and
Uh huh.
oh boy,
That is.
oh
That's gonna be
oh
really
boy,
funny. Oh man.
yeah,
I can't
fun
wait.
is the word.
Uh huh. Well, great. That's gonna be really cool. And I'd love to interview you and maybe Denver and Liz about that too when it comes
Oh
out.
yeah,
I
totally.
think that would be a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
they have so much to say about the War with Duck, and they are
Excellent.
always happy to speak about War with Duck. So,
Uh huh. Excellent. Yeah, we were showing that clip from my stream at the Badlands Dinosaur Museum there a few weeks ago here on stream. We
mhm.
were reviewing that footage, and I think you were there in the chat, and
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. Yeah, so I can't wait for that. But to get back to Seriosicus, our new
almost,
iguanodont here, tell us the story
almost.
about how this critter was first discovered, and where it was first discovered as well.
Well, I cannot really say how it was discovered because I still have to speak with the guy. I know the
Oh, okay.
story.
Uh
I
huh.
know the story a bit, but not specifically. So the Pedro Marrakesh is the name of the
Mm-hmm.
guy. He was surveying for the SHN, the Sociedad de Historia Natural, that is the association that, together with the Lourinhã Formation, there are different areas where they occupy,
Uh
and
huh.
so he
All in
was
Portugal.
surveying yeah, he was surveying this area south of Lisbon, on this beach, Praia do Areia do Mastro, if
Mm-hmm.
the pronunciation is correct. You have to imagine this not very not really a beach, more like a coast, like a cliff with a boulder, very similar to the Jurassic Coast,
Let me
basically.
show a picture to the
Uh,
chat real quick on my channel just so
yeah,
that they can see. But if you look in the lower right hand corner of this photo chat, you can actually see the water there. There is the ocean right there, and that little yellow star. That's it. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. So
yeah.
that
Right
is
on the
where
beach.
the specimen was found, and it was found as a boulder, as a block that
Uh
just
huh.
came down, rolled down from the cliff, from erosion or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Pedro was walking, flipping rocks and stuff.
Uh huh.
And by flipping one, he found a series of teeth protruding out from the sediment.
That's
And
exciting.
and I think he was like, interesting. So he took the boulder and he brought it back to the association.
Uh huh. How
And
big of
that
a
was
boulder
20.
are we talking? How big is this boulder? Okay, so it's
uh,
something he could carry by hand. Yeah.
Difficultly, but yes.
Yeah. Possible. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was 2016. And the specimen remained in the collection of SHN until, 2019. In
Uh huh.
2019, I was doing my PhD in Belfast, Northern Ireland,
Okay.
and I was surveying ornithopod collection for my PhD. And
Uh huh.
I ended up knowing SHN. So they invited me to join them. And actually, wait, where is it? Where did I put? Ah, there. In the very first day of me in Portugal, we went to Prospect on the beach, and
Okay.
we found this.
Oh, a femur.
This is a femur of a pterosaur that
What? You found a
I
pterosaur femur on your first day?
and we
That's
published it
nuts.
and we
Wow.
published it in 2021. So it
Uh-huh.
was from discovery to publication. That was a journey.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that was the first day.
Uh-huh.
I was there checking the collection. So basically, they have mainly Upper Jurassic material from the Lurinia Formation. So it's very
Right.
similar to the Morrison Formation.
Sure.
At a certain point, the director, Bruno Camilo, he told me, Filippo, you know that we have a skull? Sorry, what? Yeah, we have a skull of an iguanodon from the Cretaceous. What? So, little parenthesis for the people here. In Portugal, the Upper Jurassic is very famous and very abundant. You have
Hmm.
Draconics, Esperonyx, Austriosaurus, Luriniasaurus. You have a
Yeah.
Miragaia. You have a ton of animals from the Upper
So it's
Jurassic.
basically like a Portuguese version of what we have here in the Morrison Formation in the U.S. with Allosaurus and Stegosaurus and Apatosaurus. I think maybe the new Walking with Dinosaurs, don't they have one of the episodes about the Lorraine formation?
I
Or
think it's Lurinia
maybe
Formation.
it's not. I haven't actually seen that one
One
yet,
thing.
but
It's
the
from
point is that
Portugal, but
it's famous. Yeah.
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 But Lower Cretaceous, we don't have that much. We have a Spinosaur,
Uh-huh.
Iberospinus, and then we have isolated material, sauropods, some Ankylopolexian, Iguanodontian, ribs and vertebrae, and a piece of a maxilla, but
Uh-huh.
nothing that diagnostic to say, oh, it's a new species.
Gotcha.
So the presence of Iguanodontians was always inferred,
Sure. You know that
but
these animals are around, but you just have bits and pieces of them. Not enough to actually name a new animal.
exactly. So when Bruno told me a skull of an iguanodon from the Cretaceous of Portugal,
Hmm.
I was wow.
Yeah.
Also because all the iguanodontians from Portugal, no one has a skull.
Right. Yeah.
So I saw the specimen, and the idea was okay, before preparation, we try to do some CT scan to see what's inside the boulder, and
Hmm.
then we can go straight to preparation. Unfortunately, 2020 arrived,
With COVID.
and
Yeah.
we all have to halt everything
Hmm.
until 2022 when I was doing my postdoc here in Brussels. And my supervisor, Pascal Godefroy, who's very famous around paleontology because he
Yeah.
did so much. And
Hmm.
actually, little trivia:
Okay.
Pascal Godefroy is the only name of a real paleontologist in Jurassic World Evolution 1 and Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Really? His name
And
appears
it
on the
doesn't,
screen?
yeah, in the description of Oloro Titan, he's the only paleontologist to refer in the game. And when I
Oh,
told
very
him,
cool.
he say, "Ah, I don't care."
Yeah. Yeah. That's really funny. Yeah.
I would have cared a lot if it was me. But anyway, um, so he was going to Portugal for a holiday, and I told him, "Listen, Pascal, go to Torres Vedras, where they say Chinese, because Bruno has something to show you, among
Hmm.
other stuff." So he went there, and they managed to organize this multi-institutional collaboration.
Okay.
Basically, the specimen was to be prepared at the museum here,
Hmm.
and it has to be involved both researchers from Belgium and Portugal.
Uh-huh.
And Bruno was more than happy to do that because finally the specimen could have been prepared and studied. So
Uh-huh.
the specimen arrived in 2023, and it was prepared by our preparator, Stefan Berton. And Stefan is one of the most skilled preparator ever. He's a monster. He's a genius. And the day when he called me, saying, Filippo, your skull is ready. Do you know the Looney Tunes scene when the character just disappear and there is the silhouette of the
Yeah, there's
body
just
of
like a little
without
cloud of dust forming.
that
Yeah.
was me. That was me.
Zoom.
J-
Yeah.
Jumping down to the lab, and when he showed me the skull, I was almost crying.
Uh-huh.
because everything was there. But what really took me was that the supraorbital, as you said before in the preparation
Yeah.
of the life, is exactly there in the articulation position. And I
Uh-huh.
was like,
That's nuts.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And when Pascal and I were looking at the skull, we were like, this is a new species.
Uh-huh. That's incredible. I mean, it's so cool when you can tell at a glance that something is brand new. When you know just by looking at it that uh, that's got to be one of those watershed moments. Like you'll remember that for the rest of your life. That very moment when you saw that,
Uh, yeah, no, totally, absolutely.
just astonishing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Very very cool. So that maybe show that again to the camera so that we can tell. But that supraorbital bar right there. So that goes over
Yes.
the eyeball. And it
Let me
really
let me
reminds me of
let me
something like a bird of prey.
let
Uh,
me use this.
there we
So
go.
yeah,
Yeah, perfect. So really, really cool. And I feel like this is really important for chat to see as well, because when we're trying to reconstruct these animals, when we're trying to fill in all the soft tissue and everything, the skin and the muscle and the squishy bits like eyeballs, it can be difficult to imagine what these would look like over a skeleton like that. But that supraorbital bar gives you an idea, like the orbit, the actual eyeball has to be lower than that. So like it kind of gives you a
yeah.
bounding box for where that eyeball should sit.
And I have to say that is, in my opinion, the most interesting part of the paper. Among the
Uh-huh.
many things for which Cariosecos is curious and important,
Uh-huh.
that's the biggest thing that this paper is giving to the community. So
Right.
basically, if you look at it, I mean, the supraorbital is known in many ornithischian. There was the famous mean-looking heterodontosaur from Paul Serino's study that
Yep.
made like very famous. And
Uh-huh.
then we know that there is a paper by Maidment and Porro,
Uh-huh.
2014, something like that, dealing about the evolution of the supraorbital elements.
Uh-huh.
Basically, the bar during the evolution of this dinosaur, it rises until almost fuses with the orbital rim. So at a certain
Right.
point, the bar disappear. In fact,
Sure.
in hadrosaurids, it's not there.
Uh-huh.
It's just incorporated into the rim.
Sure.
But in the other dinosaur, it was there, and people never really, I wouldn't say care. They just didn't study it for some reason.
Right.
And
Okay.
I was always wonder what why this dinosaur had this eyebrow bone and what
Uh-huh.
was the function.
Yeah.
So actually, this came up when I was discussing it with Fabio Manucci, the paleo artist, who actually did the model.
Right.
Um, when we were looking at the bones, we noticed something very very interesting. So basically, on the wait, on the supraorbital bar,
Uh-huh.
on the prefrontal,
Yeah.
on the frontal, and on the postorbital, especially on this triangular process,
Right.
we noticed a series of like linings, like linear markings that from the supraorbital was going towards the orbit.
Interesting.
From the prefrontal was going towards here.
Uh-huh.
From the prefrontal was going towards here. So everything was going towards this cavity, the
Right.
upper orbit.
Uh-huh.
In that moment, Fabio had an idea and say, Filippo, there was some time ago Larry Whitmer talking about the defense membrane of the eye on top of the eye in some animals. Maybe it's that. So we
Huh.
contact Larry,
Uh-huh.
and Larry was like, "It's very interesting, but I'm not very familiar with that part of the anatomy of the animal.
Huh.
But one of my former students, Don Serio, he did a PhD thesis on the membranes in birds and crocodiles compared to dinosaurs.
So like the
So
nictitating membrane, that sort of thing?
not really the nectating membrane, the
Yeah.
supraorbital membrane.
Supraorbital membrane. Okay, okay. Nice.
So we contact him, we proposed him to collaborate, and
Uh-huh.
man, the part that we wrote about supraorbital membrane, I like to
Uh-huh.
refer to it as a paper inside a paper.
Very
because
cool.
the discussion of the supraorbital membrane is so extensive, and
Mm-hmm.
through his knowledge and Fabio's digital skills, we reconstruct the supraorbital membrane
Right.
on top of the eye of the animal, showing how it's very similar to what you see like in eagles and other birds.
Right. Yeah.
And they use that to protect the eye from like a direct light of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine an eagle gliding on the sky to check for a prey, but being high, the sunlight is stronger, so they
Mm-hmm.
have to basically cover the eye.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like having sunglasses or like a baseball cap or something like that in order to shield the eyes from the
Basically,
sun. Yeah.
of course, Cariosecus and all the other iguanodontians, because we don't have to forget that the supraorbital membrane, the supraorbital bone is not just for Cariosecus, it's iguanodon, Oranosaur, it's in many dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
But it could probably protect the eye from like vegetation, direct
Okay.
sunlight, and other stuff. So
Uh-huh.
I like to imagine this dinosaur walking in between forest with like branches, trying to scratch the eye, and
Uh-huh.
it doesn't scratch the eye because it has this cup.
Right. Very cool. And that also speaks to how visually based a lot of these dinosaurs would have been. Where when we're in the Holocene, in the modern age, we're used to thinking of big animals as being mammals. And mammals tend not to have very good eyesight, at least compared to things like
Yeah,
birds or probably dinosaurs. They're primarily like olfactory. Mammals have got often a very, very good sense of smell, but the primary sense for dinosaurs might have been vision. And that might be
yeah,
why dinosaurs have all of these crazy features that they've evolved: sails and spikes and horns and frills and all kinds of things like that. So eyesight would have been potentially more important to dinosaurs than it is to mammals. And so protecting those eyes makes a lot of sense with those
yeah.
supraorbital bones like that. That's really cool. Do you feel
And
like this has important implications for how we reconstruct dinosaurs when we're doing illustrations, paintings, sculptures, that kind of thing?
absolutely. There are, people already started to discuss online.
Uh-huh.
There is actually a reconstruction by Henry Sharp, which is
Okay.
amazing. And they
Uh-huh.
start, and especially Fabio Manucci, he wrote a post about it, and they are already started to say, okay, maybe we need to reconsider how we reconstruct the orbital region of some dinosaurs because of
Very
this.
cool. Wow. That's really exciting to have a paper that you've published being the talk of the town among paleo artists. And
Oh, I'm used to that. Remember the Parasaurolophus paper?
I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Very cool. Well, here's another example that you can point to then. It's a good thing to have on your resume. Very cool.
Yeah.
Um yeah. Oh, and we've got a chat from a first-time chatter here. Magic Turtle says, "I've seen Jurassic Park. T-Rex only sees movement. It would not have been like that in real life, most likely. This is an animal that would have had supremely good eyesight, like most dinosaurs would have had. So, yeah, in real life, that Tyrannosaurus would have absolutely just chomped Alan Grant and Lex Murphy. It would not have been pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Super cool stuff. Holy cow. Let me go back to my questions here. And if anybody else in the chat has got any questions too, don't hesitate to ask those. This is supposed to be a, a live interactive broadcast, so if you have questions, don't be shy. Uh Filippo, I gotta ask you, going back to iguanodonts in general, why, in your opinion, are iguanodonts the best dinosaurs?
There are two ways to answer this question.
Okay.
The first one is if you are a supporter of a soccer team, why do you consider the soccer team the best? You can't. It comes from your heart. You cannot say why it's the best one. Why? Okay, I speak about Italian soccer. Why international is better than Milan? I don't know. It comes out from my heart, and I don't care about soccer. It's just an example.
Yeah.
So
You
why
say
one
football,
don't?
right?
Yeah, soccer.
Well,
You are
I appreciate you trying
you
to
are my
translate this for an American audience, but you don't have to do that. You can say the real terms if you want to.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, so why Iguanodontia? Why not? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
But the real question, apart from jokes, is that first of all, they are kind of underrated dinosaurs,
Hmm.
and I think for the wrong reason because they can tell you so much about the modern tempo of evolution. One of the
Absolutely.
most interesting things for me, it's incredible. The more I study this thing, especially in collaboration with another Italian, Filippo Rotatori, who published Esperonics a few
Mm-hmm.
years ago. Um, we are wondering, especially him because it was his PhD topic. You have this small to medium size iguanodontians in the Upper Jurassic, like
Hmm.
Camptosaur, Draconix, Dryosaur, and stuff.
Sure.
And then you jump to the early Cretaceous, and you start to have Iguanodon,
Right.
Oranosaur, Lurdosaurus, Cariosecus. It's so nice to say his name now. Um,
Congratulations. Yeah.
Altirhinus,
Uh-huh.
Probactrosaurus, up to Shantungosaurus. What
Right.
what the freak happened between the late Jurassic and the early Cretaceous?
Uh-huh.
I now more some people I think claim that there was a mass extinction event, like a small
Yeah.
one
So
between the Jurassic Cretaceous.
Jim Kirkland is making this case. He just presented on this at a conference in Germany last week, I think. He thinks it was an asteroid impact that actually hit
Oh,
in southern Africa, and that might have been in coordination with or not in coordination. It wasn't a conspiracy, but it might have been at the same time as massive volcanic eruptions too, near Japan at the time. So it could have been like a major catastrophe on planet Earth that wiped away a lot of these big sauropods and cleared the path for ornithopods to kind of take over, the iguanodonts to have their heyday.
yeah, so you have this jump in evolution and size that really
Mm-hmm.
intrigues me. And
Yeah,
what is important and nice about Cariosecus is that we have in Portugal the rare case where in the same more or less same geographic locality, if not separated by 50 or 70 kilometers, you have dinosaurs from the ornithopods from the Upper Jurassic, and now ornithopods from the early Cretaceous. Okay, we don't have the Berriesian and the Valanginian, but
sure.
still there is a bridge between the two eras with
Yeah,
the same clade of dinosaur. So I think the more we study there in Portugal, the more we might help to unlock the mystery of how this dinosaur just exploded in an evolutionary
yeah, yeah.
terms.
Uh-huh. Because we're talking about a tremendous growth in size. Camptosaurus is what, like maybe
It's a,
6
it's a
meters
it's a
long,
lit-
something like that?
yeah, it's a little horse basically.
Yeah, yeah.
It-
And because I mean half of that is tail too. So it's not a particularly large-bodied animal. And then by the end of the Cretaceous, you have things like Shantungosaurus and Edmontosaurus, and they get what, like 13, 14, maybe 15 meters long.
yeah,
So they're getting it, you know, they're exploding in size.
and
Um,
then there is this little misconception about the size of iguanodon because every time people say about iguanodon is small and blah blah blah. Here in Brussels, we have more than 20 complete skeletons of iguanodon, exactly.
right.
And you cannot understand how stout and massive these animals are until you are in front of them.
They're
They
huge.
they
Yeah.
slap you, they kill you instantly with a slap.
Yep.
Their hands are humongous.
I mean, look at that hand right there. So I've got that 3D print on my wall.
But
It's an
but
enormous
again,
animal.
with a
Huge.
print of only the hand, you cannot even comprehend the size. You need to see the hand with the body.
Right. Yeah.
And it's it's crazy. It's
It's
crazy.
an animal bigger than an elephant, pretty much, right? It's huge.
I th-
Yeah.
I think the biggest iguanodon is scaled to be 10 meters long.
Okay.
So it's giant.
Yeah. So it's what, like 33, 34 feet long for my American viewers? Um,
Whatever.
yeah, it's like it's the size of a bus, pretty much. Like this is a huge animal. Uh, yeah, and compare that to like Camptosaurus. I have a Camptosaurus hand right here. This is that famous cast that everybody's seen. So, this is smaller than my hand, and this is an animal that would be, maybe 15 feet long, maybe like, 4 or 5 meters. Um, yeah, that they compare that to this right here. It's just, you know, no comparison. It's a tremendous increase in size like that happens from the end of the Jurassic into the Cretaceous period. How much of that do you think might be to do with the rise of angiosperms, flowering plants?
I have an idea to write a grant about
Uh
it,
huh.
but when I was starting to write it, understand the topic, there were some papers published recently about the topic where they found no correlation between
Interesting.
angiosperms and the rise of ornithopods.
Uh huh.
I don't really agree because I think there is. I mean, the coincidence is too great,
Right. Yeah.
but I also trust these researchers. So I decided to try the grant with another topic.
Uh huh. Nice. Okay.
So
Well, best of luck with the grant. I hope they
yeah,
award it to you. But yeah, for anybody who's wondering, I should have explained that term. Angiosperms are the flowering plants. So it's something like 90% of plant species that are around today are plants that are flowering plants. There were no flowers prior to the evolution of angiosperms, the flowering plants, and that happens in the early Cretaceous period. I forget exactly at which age in the Cretaceous, but it's sometime in the early Cretaceous that angiosperms show up and they just start taking over the planet. And if you have your the primary foliage, the primary like plant life having this big revolution happening, you would think that would affect the plant eaters as well, right? If suddenly you have different kinds of plants everywhere, you would think that would have an effect upon the herbivores. And we're still trying to figure out, in broad strokes, how the evolution of angiosperms affects dinosaurs, because it happened during the age of dinosaurs that flowering plants first evolved.
yep.
It's kind of at the same time that the iguanodonts start to really take over. And is it a coincidence or is it not? It's a big question right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think we have enough material to say so.
Uh huh.
Because more than the iguanodons, we need to have more fossil angiosperms to
Uh
say
huh.
so.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And I know people who are working on that right now in Utah in the Cedar Mountain Formation. They're looking at
mm,
pollen, trying to figure out when exactly angiosperms show up, when they become more common, that kind of thing. So that's work that's currently being done. Uh, yeah, yeah. Um, Kind of on that same token, when we're talking about environment and foliage and everything, can you describe for the audience what sort of environment this new dinosaur would have lived in? What did Cariocecus encounter every day in terms of, landscape, plants, other animals living in its environment, that kind of thing?
we don't really know
Okay.
because
Yeah.
the Paposeco formation is actually not so well studied, especially in comparison with the Lourinhã formation.
Uh huh.
There are some studies done by Silveiro Figueiredo, who's also one of the co-author in
Hmm.
the paper. But again, it's an area that people have not studied that well. We have information. We also put supplementary information with some micro fossils
Okay.
that helps um, to understand what kind of environment we have. But Papo Seco requires a comprehensive study, and this is why
Hmm.
I would like to do in the next years specific fieldworks in the area.
Nice.
But
Okay.
from what we know so far, it was a deltoic fluvial deposit. So imagine a plain with rivers maybe next to the sea, maybe
Okay. So right
with
on the
forest
coastline,
and
basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
with forest and swamps.
Uh huh.
And you
Nice.
have this
Interesting.
ratherly big iguanodon, Cariosecus, chased by the Iberospinus, the Spinosaur,
Right.
with some
Eager.
sauropods in the background because we have sauropod material from the Paposeco, but they are too fragmentary to say anything more than sauropoda in that.
Gotcha. Okay. I think I remember seeing in the paper too that you had fragments of turtles and then a bunch of
Yeah, also
invertebrates as well. Yeah.
Turtles, invertebrates, sometimes crocodiles like teeth and stuff. So
Uh-huh.
usual stuff for the for the background fauna.
Uh-huh. Nice. Yeah. It's hard to find Cretaceous rocks that don't have crocodile or crocodilomorph material in them, so
Yeah,
that's cool. Any lungfish yet that you're aware of?
no, I
No,
don't think there
interesting.
are any fish found so far.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
again, I'm pretty sure there are. It's just that the problem with the Papus Seco is that it's a very difficult site to dig because it's on the cliff, and you need to
Mm.
have gears. You need to lay down with a rope. So
Oh
you need
wow.
also to have insurance covered and blah blah blah. So
Right, yeah.
it's not field work for everybody.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Interesting.
It's not
That's
like
really cool that
it's not like the quarry that you participate. Everything is on is on plane and people just sit
exactly.
down and have fun.
This is
This
more
one
vertical
requires
field work. You're digging into
yeah
a cliff face, essentially.
yeah yeah. You need to have
Interesting.
skills. You need to be super careful every single second,
Mm-hmm.
and you cannot even have many people. Just a few selected because you need to have rope and the security systems and blah blah blah. So
Right. But that's really exciting, though, that this is a whole new frontier in Mesozoic paleontology. This is a formation where almost any critter that you find there is going to be a new taxon. It's going to be a new genus, new
yeah
species.
yeah.
And there are so many formations like that that it's really cool that you have one there in Portugal as well. And very lucky that you've got a beautiful skull of a new dinosaur that just tumbled down in a boulder like that. It's like a gift, you know? It's
Yeah, it's
that's
crazy. Yeah.
that's so cool. Yeah. Um if there were one other taxon that you could find a similar gift for, if you had another a boulder tumble down the cliff and you could collect that with any animal in it, what would you want?
That's a tricky question.
Yeah.
I have two.
Okay. Okay.
One is a ankylosaur, which
Okay. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there were some.
Yeah.
And you know me, a sailback iguanodontian.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Um, that would be really neat. Yeah. I'm really hoping that that one from Utah gets published eventually. I hear that's been sitting in the
I'm
lab for decades at this point at
I
BYU, I
know.
think.
I mean, even
Yeah.
when I met even when I met Jim Kirkland the first time in 2014, he
Hmm.
was talking to me about that, and I'm like, "Can I come and study, please?"
Right, but it's not his. He doesn't.
I
He's not in
know, I
charge of it. So
know,
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So like, please do it.
Yeah. You got to make friends with Brooks Britt. See if he'll let you
I
study
know
it.
I know the name. I never met. So
Yeah. Yeah. He's at Brigham Young University in Utah. Um, this you met Jim in 2014. Was that at a conference
SVP in Berlin.
at SVP? Okay, nice. Yeah, I also
I
met
have
Jim
this.
at in 2014, but that was at the Mid Mesozoic conference in Utah and Colorado. I didn't make it to SVP
I
that year. I couldn't
I
afford it.
have this. I have this beautiful memory of Jim.
Hmm.
I think we had the poster next to each other or close to each other.
Nice.
And I knew Jim by documentaries and stuff. I
Of
mean, it was
course. Yeah.
SVP in Berlin. For many of us, was our first SVP, and to meet people like Tom Holtz, Jim
Hmm.
Kirkland, and other big
Yeah.
names that we only saw in documentaries. For us,
It's
it
like
was
you're
like
meeting a
a
movie
Christmas.
star.
Exactly, like Christmas
Yeah.
morning. So I presented myself to Jim. I told him that I was working on Oranosaur, and he started, "Oh, let me tell you about the sale one from Utah." And
Uh
he
huh.
took my hand. He made me sit down on a couch next to his poster, and
Uh
for
huh.
2 hours, I'm not joking, for 2 hours, he spoke straight about the geology and the fauna of his formation,
Yep.
and those 2 hours just flew by.
Flew by. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Jim. Yeah. Yeah. Now imagine spending 3 weeks with him out in the field and yeah, yeah. I'm hoping Jim is going to be out with us for a few days when I'm out there in Utah in the next couple weeks, but we'll see if he can make it out there. But it's always a joy to have him on stream. And for one time, we
Yeah,
sat down to do a live stream, and I said, "Oh yeah, we'll do a stream for maybe 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes." It was like
yeah,
four or
the
five hours, and we didn't even
yeah,
realize that much time had gone by. Yeah,
40 minutes is the introduction for
yeah,
Jim.
exactly. Yeah. Oh man. Uh, I'm sure he's going to be really excited about this too. And he's going to be thinking about how your new animal, this new iguanodont, is similar or different to the iguanodonts from Utah. And what age is this critter from in the early Cretaceous?
Barremian.
Uh what's the particular geological age?
Barremian.
Barremian. Okay, yeah.
125.
Nice, nice. Yeah, so we're
So yeah,
starting to
the
think that
Barremian was really a hot pot for iguanodontians
yeah,
because
for
we have
sure.
so many, especially in Europe. We have so many. Now we have also
Hmm.
the new one, Istiorakis. We have Cariosecus, Magnamanus,
Hmm.
Moreiadon, Proa, Iguanodon, Mantellisaurus, Mebidollodon,
Hmm.
Istiorakis, Braistoneus, Comptonatus,
There's so many. Yeah.
Oranosaur. Okay, no, Oranosaur is later, but okay,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
it's
It, it
crazy.
it really is astonishing that just the diversity of these animals, and it does make me wonder if it has something to do with the rise of angiosperms. Like suddenly you have so much more plant material for them to eat, different species arising. Angiosperms tend to be very diverse. I wonder if that would cause allopatric or sympatric speciation between these critters to you get all this crazy diversity. But let me show the chat real quick. I'll pull up our geological time scale here, and I'll take them to the
Really?
Barremian
So I
here.
had no expense.
Here it is in the lower Cretaceous. So
Olgamiller
Barremian is
gifted a
about
tier 1 sub to Study
125 to
Prodigy.
129 million years ago, just to give you a sense for where we're at in time. So, yeah, this is important. It's
Olgamiller
important
gifted a
stuff.
tier 1 sub to Buddy Hot.
There's a lot going on at that time, and all the names that you just mentioned, are those all from the Barremian, or most of them? Because that's a tremendous number for such a small slice of time. It's so much smaller than the Aptian or the Albion. It's that's pretty impressive. There must have been a lot of deposition going on at the time.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Let me go through my questions again here. Speaking of this critter from the Barremian, what kind of clues does this give us about the paleobiogeography of iguanodontians in the early Cretaceous? There were some figures about that in the paper that looked really exciting. I haven't had a chance to look at them closely.
So
Yeah.
we with the phylogeny we propose, I was suggested by one my co-author to try to do a paleobiogeoanalysis, something that I've
Uh huh.
never done before.
Right.
So luckily he helped me to go especially through R, the R script,
Uh huh.
and I know that our hypothesis is a bit strong because it mentioned the possible South American origin for Iguanodontians,
Uh huh.
starting from the Elasmaria, basically the ancestor of the Elasmaria in the Jurassic, moving towards North America
Uh
for
huh.
Camptosaur, Dryosaur,
Right.
then through all the bridges going to Europe with the
Uh huh.
diversification of the early Cretaceous into all the Iguanodontians,
Right.
with a continuation of migration towards Asia with Altirhinus, Probactrosaur, Bolong, Ginzosaurus, all the others, to
Right.
then make a circumnavigation of the planet and go back to America through the Beringia to evolve into the other sort. So literally, the journey around the world in 50 million of years,
That's so
or
cool. Um.
something like that.
Yeah.
But I can see because it's since it's based on a phylogeny, I
Hmm.
can see this hypothesis being changed in the future because of different phylogenies.
Sure.
So,
Yeah. So just one new
but
specimen could shake up this whole paradigm right here if we yeah. Yeah. But
I
based on how
I
things
can
are right now, um do you have a suspicion of about where where iguanodontids, members of Iguanodontidae, first originated? Do they have their origins in Europe or in Asia or in North
Europe.
America?
Europe, absolutely. I'm
In
pretty
Europe, absolutely.
sure
Why do you say that?
Hadrosauroids appear first in Europe, or at least in the Euro-African plate, because we
Uh-huh.
have this Oranosaur moraeodon, which are pretty basal, more
Uh-huh.
basal than other hadrosauroids,
Uh-huh.
but they are also connected phylogenetically. And then we have a cluster of many European hadrosauroids. And with
Uh-huh.
hadrosauroids, I mean a certain group of derived iguanodontians.
Sure.
And then from there, they start to go, especially in Asia. So I don't know where they come from. Maybe North America from Camptosaur and similar,
Uh-huh.
but I'm pretty sure that the basal part of hadrosauroids start in Europe.
Interesting. Okay. So Europe would be the cradle of the iguanodon today in that sense. It seems very
Yeah.
appropriate given that was the start of the study on iguanodontids, but it's really nice
And
how that works out.
this
Yeah.
year we are in the 200 years of
Uh-huh.
the publication of Iguanodon.
Of
So,
iguanodon, yeah,
woo!
1825 to 2025.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure we'll have some celebrations about that at SVP this year, given that it will be in England. I'm excited about that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't want to low down the mood, but I think the final ceremony, the final dinner will be pretty felt this year,
Pretty what?
with all the pretty felt, pretty mood, because of the people
Mm,
that left us in the field
true. People like
this
Mark
year.
Norell and
Mark Norell, Barsbold,
yeah.
the other Mongolian paleontologist,
Mm-hmm.
but especially Mark. I
Yeah.
think the final banquet, the final
Mm-hmm.
dinner, there will
Might
be
be
some
pretty.
commotion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it'll. There's definitely going to be some sadness there.
yeah,
There always is. There's always a few, prominent, well-loved paleontologists that have
yeah.
left
But
us
I
each
don't.
year.
I
But this in
yeah, but
particular,
I
that's a big deal. Mark and
Mark
Rinken
Mark was,
Barsbold and yeah.
but Mark especially was well loved by everybody. So
Hmm. We were talking about him the other day on stream when I heard the
yeah.
news. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, you know that that tradition of trading name tags at SVP every year on the.
I
You've
never
never done
liked
that?
it. I have my badges with my name, and that
Yeah.
stays so.
And so I had mentors and colleagues tell me about that since before I ever attended SVP. I was learning about that since I don't know. I was 14 years old. And then my first SVP, which was Los Angeles 2013, I got Mark Norell's name tag. And I was I don't know. I was very proud of that. So that was like kind of a personal connection to Mark Norell. That was the first time I'd ever met him. And I need to find that. It's somewhere around here in my office. But yeah, yeah. Oh, Filippo's run off. I'm sure he's grabbing something important. There we go. Your name tags from each year. There you go. Nice. Yeah, I have mine from last year too. I didn't want to trade mine from SVP last year, but
I don't like to trade mine. I mean, it's like a badge.
yeah, for sure.
It, it's a it's a token, and this is my last SVP, the one in Toronto.
Hmm.
Oh man, that one was crazy because the day before I was in Niger.
Uh huh. Oh, the day before?
I I
So
was
you
in
went
Niger.
straight from field work to SVP. I've never
Uh
done
by
that.
s-
Wow.
by stopping in Brussels. So Niamey,
Hmm.
the capital of Niger, Paris,
Uh huh.
Paris with the train, Brussels. Brussels, just go home to change a few things, go to the airport and go to Toronto in one day.
So you probably still had a little bit of dust from the Nigerian desert somewhere on your body as you're presenting your research at SVP. That's really funny. Wow.
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
done that. Yeah. Um, that's impressive. Yeah. Uh, I don't know, I'm really excited for SVP this year. I'm excited to meet
Me
you, and
too.
I'm excited to present some research. And
Oh,
I'm also,
you're gonna enjoy the poster that I have.
oh, it's going to be great. I'm sure. Yeah, I can't wait. Can you give us a little hint what it's going to be about?
Iguanodon.
Iguanodon. All right, nice. Yeah, very cool. I'm just doing one poster this year, and it's going to be about Twitch. It's going to be about doing outreach from the field, so fieldwork live streams. Next year, I'd like to do an outreach poster and a research poster like I did last year, but
Mm-hmm.
this year just a single poster. But it'll be fun. Yeah. And I need to make sure to plan things out this year. There's different people that I need to talk to about
Yeah.
research, about outreach, stuff like that. So I'll have my list all written down, and yeah,
Oh, I learned that in SVP you don't do a list, otherwise you lose track and you become depressed because oh I had to talk to him and to that. No, don't do a list. Just go with the flow.
yeah, yeah. I last year I did the whole go with the flow thing, and it worked pretty well. But there's a few people I was supposed to talk to that I didn't. So I need a short list at the beginning. I talk to those people, and then I can go with the flow afterwards. So yeah, yeah. Dr. Hubs in the chat says, I show my students a video about Microraptor featuring Mark Norell every semester. This semester will be sad as I will tell them that he has passed. Yeah, it's going to be a sad one for sure. And Mark Norell actually won the Romer Simpson medal
Mm,
2 years ago, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So he's already won the highest honor that SVP can bestow. So that's a big deal. Um Yeah, to get back to this critter in particular, what are you most excited to tell people about this new iguanodont? What do you want people to know about Cariocecus? If there's
Two
one
thi-
thing that people take away from this interview, what do you want them to remember?
two things.
Yeah.
The first one is one of the most craziest adaptation of this guy, for which I had to spend many weeks, if not months, to try to understand from a biological point of view. So,
Uh-huh.
and it's also a question to you because I don't think you know this since you still have to read the paper.
Huh.
This is the maxilla.
Okay.
So you have the maxilla, you have the teeth, the jugal. Actually, we also have the ectopterygoid here, very tiny,
Nice.
and a palatine complex that is actually crashed and tilted. So it was very difficult to study, and
Sure.
we weren't even able to describe some of the things.
Uh-huh.
But what do you see of peculiar here?
Huh. That's a good question. I'm trying to tell which parts of it are distortion and which parts of it are actual morphology, but it seems pretty robust.
Exactly why?
Yeah, I don't know. Are these animals eating particularly tough food or something
No,
like that?
no, 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 not for that. Why does it look uh, massive?
I can't tell if that's distortion or if it's actual morphology. Um, I don't know. It just looks really thick. It's substantial.
Exactly. Exactly. Do you
Yeah,
see any separation between jugal and maxilla?
that's a really good point. They're fused. Like it's one solid
Exactly.
element like that. Why?
E- exactly.
Yeah.
Jugal and maxilla are
Uh-huh.
fused. These lines here, they are
Uh-huh.
taphonomical fractures.
Okay.
We did a CT scan, and I spent days in the scans to try to see any linings. But this dinosaur was probably a subadult because some of the suture between the skull bones are open.
Okay.
So, for the same reason, important suture for kinetics, such as the jugal maxilla one,
Yeah.
should be extremely visible
Right.
because it was a subadult.
And
There is
yeah.
a bit of separation between the two here. There is
Uh-huh.
like a V like separation,
Right. Mm-hmm.
but following it just dissipate. And in CT scan, it's a continuous bone.
That's
And
so weird.
I was like, whoa.
So this
So
animal
in the
is
paper,
fusing together its upper jawbones like that into one solid, strong mass.
in the paper,
Yeah.
I wanted to be honest. I wanted to be not none, I wouldn't say hypocrite, like everything on the table.
Yeah,
This can be a pathology.
sure.
It can be
That could be some
developmental.
abnormality. It could be an injury or something
Exactly.
unusual about
Not
this particular individual.
not
Yeah.
even an injury. This is typical for a developmental defect. So the embryo is growing, and there
Hmm.
is some problem in the Hox genes or whatever that
Sure.
do not makes the bone disassociate and stuff.
So there's a chance it could be
But
a developmental disorder, but
but in the medical knowledge, these things in the skull bones are extremely rare. Like
right. Yeah.
the extremely rare. And in dinosaur literature, there is nothing.
Uh-huh.
And in the vertebrate zoology, paleopathology, there is nothing.
Huh.
So it's it's possible that is a pathology, but it's very unlikely. So
Uh-huh.
to be a new feature, a new diagnostic feature, a new anatomical feature, and a very extremely rare pathology, the likelihood scale goes to
Yeah, that it's
anatomical
an
feature.
actual real part of the animal's anatomy rather than some fluke. Yeah.
The only way to say something for sure is to have the opposite, the left side.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
if you have the same condition left and right, you're pretty sure it's something normal. Because
Hmm.
pathologies thrive in asymmetry, as I like to say.
Right.
If you see something strange and is asymmetric, mostly for sure is a pathology.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, we don't have a left side, so we cannot be sure 100%.
Hmm.
But until we don't find a complete skull, I decided to refer it as an autapomorphy.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah. So it's
And,
an
and
autapomorphy for those of you who
yeah,
are unfamiliar with that term. It's a unique feature. It's like here's what makes this new critter new. Like these are the parts that are really special that we can tell it's a new species or a new genus. Yeah.
the other thing for which I want the people to remember this dinosaur is
Hmm.
the name. I already saw people asking why Bocage, why
Yeah.
Cariosecus.
Uh-huh.
So, as I said, it was one of my dreams to name a dinosaur,
Hmm.
and I can tell you it's not going to be the last.
Uh-huh. That's exciting. Yeah.
I always been a fan of mythological names because I always love to go in a paper and go to the etymology and see like a nice discussion of why the name and go through history, culture,
Right. Yeah.
myth that you don't even know. You wouldn't even understand them or know them if it wasn't for that discovery of those paleontologists that wanted to refer to some hidden or lost culture. I
Hmm.
don't remember which one, but there was recently a paper where they made like a little, basically text about epic in a specific culture, speaking
Uh-huh.
exactly about everything about the mythological creature they decided. I always love that because it's a
Hmm.
way to maintain the legacy of a culture, to give value to that particular ethnic group or tribe or
Sure.
legacy or culture where the
Uh-huh.
animal comes from and blah blah blah. So I really wanted to give it a Portuguese mythological name. So I sit down one day and I
Uh-huh.
decided to go through to dig through some Portuguese mythology. And in the call, I also have Fabio Manucci, the paleo artist. We always discuss about. And we were checking some names, and I ended up reading Cariosecus. Carios. You know, Fab, it sounds like a cool name for a
It
dinosaur.
does. It sounds like a genus
So
name for an animal. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. It fits.
so
Yeah.
what is Cariosecus? Cariosecus was the god of war of the ancient Lusitanian people, so the people living in the Portuguese Spain area,
Uh-huh.
before the conquer of the Roman Empire. When the
Right.
Roman Empire arrived, they colonized the cultures and they imposes Ares and Mars on
Sure.
their
They're
local
Roman gods they
mythology.
brought with them as they're coming into this territory. Yeah.
So basically, Cariosecus is the precursor of Mars.
So it's like the Portuguese god of war, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah, very,
Where
very cool.
yeah,
That's such a cool
and
name.
to give it to an iguanodontian is just so in my Twitch there is a recurrent meme that
Uh-huh.
is the iguano god.
Uh-huh.
And without even realizing, I made my meme alive because I literally created the iguano god, the Cariosecus iguanodontian god of war. The
Uh-huh.
meme is alive.
That's so cool. Holy cow. And I hope that people that other people get as excited about this as we are. Because that is really interesting. And this is something that I've heard Ken Lacavara say as well, that he thinks that herbivorous dinosaurs don't get enough respect. That people are not, they think of plant-eating dinosaurs as being very peaceful and, you know, maybe kind of dopey, not particularly intimidating, but a lot of these animals would have been quite formidable, whether it's a big sauropod or a big iguanodontian. And here you are giving your new dinosaur, a god of war name.
I always say, go to a safari and
Hmm.
don't do don't do it, please. But imagine, go to next to a lion that has already eaten without being a threat.
Yeah,
They wouldn't care about you for a little second.
yeah,
Okay, under the same status mentalis, approach a horse from behind. You're dead. You're dead.
yeah. That's a good
So,
point. Yeah,
who's the most dangerous, the lion or the horse?
right.
It all goes to situation, of course. But in situation, the horses are so unpredictable, more unpredictable than the lion.
Hmm.
Think about hippopotamus, rhinos, elephants. Come on, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely. Cape buffalo,
they eat,
one of the most
they,
dangerous animals in Africa. Yeah, yeah,
they eat grass. They don't care about the others. They see you, they charge you.
yeah. Did you think iguanodonts might have been the same way? It would make sense. They're living in an environment that's full of huge, nasty, predatory dinosaurs. They would have had to have been tough and formidable to just be able to survive. I think you've got a really good point there. Do you
Yeah.
suspect that this animal, Cariocecus, would have had a thumb spike like Iguanodon, or would it have had a more kind of blunt digit one ungule, kind of like Camptosaurus at this
I,
point in evolution?
I think so because Iguanodon, I think, comes before Cariosecus and he has a huge thumb spike.
Oh,
Then
really?
comes
Okay, nice. Yeah.
then comes Oranosaur. It's
Hmm.
reduced, but it has a thumb spike. And
Right.
then there is Cariosecus, and then we have the British specimens, which I think they have the thumb spike. And then you go following the phylogeny. We go
Hmm.
to China. We have Bolong that
Uh
has a
huh.
thumb spike.
Right.
So phylogenetical bracketing is very plausible that Cariosecus has a
Right.
thumb
Yeah.
spike. Well developed, lesser developed, we don't know, but there was one.
Uh huh. Interesting. Now that makes a lot of sense. So if we're to further flesh out this scenario in which you go and approach a Cariocecus back in the Barremian early Cretaceous period, if it's going to charge you, it might be skewering you with its thumb spike like that. Um,
Oh yeah.
that's quite an evocative image there.
I I'm not saying that my poster would have something to do about that, but
I'm excited to see it. Yeah, very cool. Okay, that'll be really neat. And that's exciting too because we're still waiting on some of our material to get prepped in the lab from the Cedar Mountain Formation from this year. But we did find an element this year that we think might be a digit one manual ungule, so it might be like the thumb claw
nice.
from our Cedar Mountain iguanodont from the earliest Cretaceous, maybe like 142 million years old. So like very very beginning of the
Okay.
Cretaceous. We
Wow.
think it's probably not a spike. We think it's probably just like on Camptosaurus, where it's just a you know little semi-conical claw like that. So yeah,
Which is
I'd be
what
really
I'm
interested to know.
expecting.
Say that again.
Which is what I'm expecting, phylogenetically
It
speaking.
would make a lot of sense. Yeah, but then the question becomes, when did that thumb spike first evolve? And I think that's still something that is yet to be discovered, which is exciting.
When the iguanodontian decided to conquer the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
Think about it. When does iguanodontia start to be widespread? When they evolve the thumb spike.
Right.
Thumb
Yeah.
spike is the key to conquer the world.
I like that.
I can't even.
I'm gonna remember
I
that
can't
for if
even
I
keep
have
a
any.
straight face.
Uh-huh. When I have some world conquering ambitions in the future, I'll remember that thumb spike idea.
Yeah,
Um,
think about Facebook.
there you go. Yeah. uh, so with this new critter, I was gonna ask you, how long do you think it's gonna take for this animal to start appearing in popular media? 'Cause I'll show you
It,
something.
al-
When I was going to get
it
my
already
my
it
COVID
already
shot
started.
this morning, I went to Walgreens here in the U.S. and I couldn't help but purchase this. I might give this to Susie Maidmont if I see her in the next couple weeks because she's going to be coming out to the field to join us. But this is Craterosaurus, which is a stegosaur from the UK, which is known from a single fragmentary vertebra. Your animal has much better material, and I would think it would make a pretty cool action figure. How long do you think it'll take for the Jurassic World people to make an action figure of your new dinosaur?
Think think when Yanni was published and
Yeah.
see when they made Yanni as a toy. And
Uh-huh.
actually, after seeing that they made Yanni,
Uh-huh.
that is a whoever cared the Scalosaur, and I care a lot, but I don't think that people care about the Scalosaur. It's so no, sorry, it's a Raptodont. Sorry, Raptodontid or
Uh-huh.
Raptodontomorph. Who care? People don't care about Raptodont. I care a lot about Raptodontomorph, but
I do
people don't care.
too,
So
yeah.
why do Yanni? And yet they did. So do the God of War.
Exactly, yeah. And it's got such a cool name, and they could give it a really scowly kind of look with those super orbital bars like that. Can make it look really angry. Um,
Exactly.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited. I hope that not only do they do that, but I hope that it garners further attention for your work and for iguanodontid dinosaurs in general. It's yeah, this is gonna be cool. Maybe it'll be in the next Jurassic World movie for crying out loud. We'll
I
see.
would love. I would love it. Since I spoke with Andrew Farkey about Aquilops,
Aquilops, yeah.
uh, I despised Aquilops in the movie until I spoke to Andy, and
Uh-huh.
Andy completely made me change my mind over the Aquilops in the movie.
Huh. Well, because I think I have a similar attitude to yours here, where I know we look at Dilophosaurus from the first Jurassic Park movie, and they make it way too small. They make it look really kind of doofy, and it's got the big neck frill, which they didn't really have. And all of these things bug people like you and me. Like we're not happy about inaccurate representations of a dinosaur in a movie, but Samuel P. Wells, who named Dilophosaurus, um, he was a paleontologist at Berkeley from like the 1930s up until the 1990s. He saw Jurassic Park a few years before he died, and he was overjoyed that his dinosaur was there on the silver screen. And he did an interview about that. We listened to him in his own words. There's audio recordings of this, and he says, like, oh, Dilophosaurus, it's a movie star now. That's my dinosaur up there on the movie screen. And I think he came on strong. I think he gave a great performance. I'm very excited for people to know about him. And that just touched my
It,
heart. It made me so happy that he was happy about this.
it's exactly what Andy told me. So I made a video on my YouTube channel where I interview Andy before Jurassic World Rebirth was out. And he
Nice.
told me this and say, "Listen, Filippo, I study with my team this little creature. I also actually made the 3D print of it. So this is Aquilops.
Very nice. Yeah.
Uh,
That's Aquilops right there, which is
and
it's a small like little horned dinosaur with no horns for
yeah,
anybody who's wondering. Yeah.
so we published that in 2014, and we never thought it was going to go anywhere in terms of media because who cares? And then I saw this, and then I start to go out. I walk down my street in California, and I see people drinking soda, and there is my dinosaur on the soda. How can I hate the movie when
Right.
my dinosaur is in the soda, is in a Lego set? I
Yeah.
think that the perspective over dinosaurs in movie, as rightful they are, as wrong as they can be, and whatever, really change when your dinosaur that you name is in the movie. Because I can tell you, I didn't name it, but I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure that the Parasaurolophus from Dominion, the Dominion, the Parasaurolophus that appears at the beginning of the movie with the
Hmm.
stupid Chris Pratt scene, which actually I like because it was a reference to the Valley of Guanji,
Right.
but it
Yeah.
was but it was how they made Chris Pratt behave that really bothered
Right.
me. But anyway, those Parasaurolophus, I'm pretty sure they are based on my study because
Really.
um, for many years, with all the product that we have in the Jurassic Park 1, 2, 3, and Jurassic World, and Fallen Kingdom, and then Dominion, until Dominion, the Parasaurolophus model never changed.
Right.
Never. Okay, it might have
That's a good point.
changed the color, a bit of the proportion,
Hmm.
but and with the video games, Jurassic World, the game, Operation Genesis, all the others,
It's all the same
Camp
model.
Cretaceous,
Yeah.
all every time always the same model. And then in the time between Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, my paper about Parasaurolophus comes out, changing the how we think about Parasaurolophus, with them being more beefier, more bulky, with the nuchal ligament and blah blah blah. And
Hmm.
then I go to see Dominion and I see these Parasaurolophuses. I can't hate Dominion. I can't, because
Uh-huh.
my dinosaurs are in the movie, and I think I'm one of the very few people defending Dominion, but for the wrong from the wrong points, because
Sure.
it touches me personally, because one of the
Hmm.
dinosaurs that I contribute to change in the paleontological history is in the movie. How can I hate the movie?
Right.
So
Yeah. I like that. And that's the thing too, is that if these films are introducing the public to new ideas about paleontology, if they're introducing them to new dinosaurs, even if the depiction of the dinosaur is not very good, even if it's inaccurate, at least it's something, you know? And that can have a positive impact. And yeah, I'm really hoping that it happens with your new iguanodon too, because it absolutely deserves to be featured in popular media like this. I've got a feeling that it's going to start showing up in Jurassic World or in video games or in television shows. I think we're going to be hearing a lot about Cariocecus in the near future, and I'm really excited for you, Filippo.
also, I think Carusekus is a character, playable character. The god is a playable character in some video games online, because when I was searching for Carusekus as the name, I was see like a gameplay and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
So it's something like League of Legends, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm
Uh
not
huh.
so young.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And again, I want to say too, since it is such a cool name that you chose, and you did choose that name, like that was you as first author on the paper. That's your decision, right?
Basically, the agreement between me and the Portuguese is that I chose the genus, they chose the genus. Sorry, the species.
The
Sorry,
species name.
I've been speaking the entire day. I'm super tired,
No, you're
so
fine.
sorry.
Yeah.
No, I choose the genus,
Uh-huh.
and then they choose the species, which is Bocagei. Bocagei comes from José Vicente Barbosa do Bocage, who
Okay.
was a 19th century zoologist. Is one of the biggest zoologists in Portugal history. So they wanted to refer the dinosaur to him.
Right.
And
They
I
wanted to honor him
discovered
with that name. Yeah.
and then I discovered that today is the birthday of another Bocage, who was a poet in
Ah.
Portugal. So now people are talking about it, but they are referring it to the wrong Bocage.
Oh well. That'll give you another interesting thing to talk about in the interviews.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do feel like this animal, uh, Cariocecus does have a good chance of being featured in popular media because I suspect that some of the dinosaurs that were featured in some of the Jurassic World films were chosen because of their names. Creatures like Atrociraptor or Pyroraptor. These are very cool names, but animals that are known from very, very fragmentary material. We don't really know what the whole animal looked like, but they've got very evocative, very interesting sounding names, very memorable. I think your animal, I think Cariocecus might fit that same bill. I think it
I
might
hope
get
so.
some attention based on that cool name.
I really hope so. I'm planning some posts in the next days. Tomorrow, especially tomorrow, I'm gonna joke a lot about Cariosecus as the name,
Nice.
because there are some pop culture reference to it. Of course, there is a obvious reference to the video game series God of War,
Hmm.
which tomorrow I'm gonna make. But also, I don't know if you saw the main reconstruction that we provide, the illustration.
I
Um,
did. Beautiful. Yeah.
that is done by one of the co-authors, Vincent Carvalho,
Uh
who's
huh.
the paleo artist who also did Iberospinus.
Uh huh.
So when he asked me what kind of color shall we put to the dinosaur, so I spent some time making like some color palette for the dinosaur, and I made four choices.
Hmm.
Three are based on modern birds.
Hmm.
One is based on a pop culture character, and the Victor went directly without knowing to the pop culture one.
Uh huh.
So the color palette, and I don't think you know it, but maybe people in the chat knows. Um, the color palette, I wanted to give it a Kratos color palette for obvious reason, but Kratos is too much human, so it will ended up with skin color, so white beige, some red, some brown for the beard, but I didn't like it. It wasn't the palette I wanted.
Uh huh.
So, what kind of other character can I choose that looks like Kratos?
Hmm.
I'm a big, and especially if I'm pretty sure that most of your audience is American, so I'm pretty sure that what I'm speaking about they know it.
Uh
I'm a
huh.
big fan of I'm a big fan of Critical Role, the group
Okay.
of voice actor on Twitch and other platform playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they are
Uh huh.
actors, so it's very nice to watch them.
Uh huh.
And one of the character, uh, I don't think the guy making the character based on Kratos was just a um, convergent evolution between the two.
Okay.
But there is a character that is really similar to Kratos that is Grog, and Grog is bluish grayish, brownish red, and and a little darker gray. It's the color palette that we choose for mine, because God of War,
Uh
Kratos,
huh.
Grog.
It's a little too
So
human of it.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
tomorrow I'll try to tag these creators and see if something
Very
happens.
cool. Yeah. I hope they're excited about it. Let me show off this illustration here. I'll switch scenes for a second. But
Really spectacular. Spared no
and here I
expense.
gotta turn off these alerts. But there we go. Yeah. So this is the image right here.
The Brenji
Wait, I'm
gifted a
gonna
tier
read. I
1
just
sub
read
to
the
electric
Petrodactyl.
underscore
Some of
hearts
my
underscore.
coworkers worked on the latest God of War games. I'll definitely be telling them about Cariosecus. Oh my god.
Very cool. Yeah.
Petrodactylus, be sure to see my post tomorrow on Instagram. Be sure it. Be sure about
Nice.
it.
Nice. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, Filippo. Before I forget, where can people follow you? What are some things you can plug? Um, you've got your Blue Sky
Well,
account, and I already shared that post with everybody. But
yeah,
Instagram too.
I need I need to use Blue Sky more since I left
Yeah.
Twitter in November for
Uh huh.
everybody knows what reason.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Me too.
I need to use Blue Sky more. But you can find me especially on Instagram, Dino underscore Doctor. I have another account where I speak about Dungeons and Dragons and RPG games applied to paleontology, but that is mostly in Italian, so it's not up for you, mostly. Although maybe if you want to learn Italian. But for the Dino Doctor, I always do English stuff. And then I have my Twitch. So on Twitch, I do mostly Italian streams during the week,
Hmm.
but on Sunday, around this time, California time, so 1, 2 p.m. California time, I do English streams on Sunday.
Nice.
So
Very nice. So
this is,
everybody follow Dyson
this is
Dinosaur
where.
if you're not yet doing so. Follow him on Instagram and YouTube and yeah. Squiggles says Grogosaurus. When?
Is Filippo part of Paleo Games? I had what's his name? The main guy. I'm so tired. So the main guy working on Paleo games in my stream for a interview, and maybe in the future we will collaborate on something. Yes.
Nice, nice. Yeah.
Basically, I don't know if you know this, Danny. It's a
Uh-huh.
group of paleontology and paleo artists. Also, Mark Quito was involved.
Okay.
They made. Okay, I can show you. Give me one sec.
Oh, cool. Okay. I'm not aware of this. Yeah, I'm excited to see what this is about. Yeah. Will this dinosaur have spoken Portuguese or Latin? Neither, Kennedy. Way earlier than that.
So, this book.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think I've seen this before that you've showed it off. Very
Yeah,
cool.
Dr. Drolly Dictionary of Dinosaurs. So basically, it's a manual book for D&D to introduce dinosaurs and other stuff. But it's
Cool.
amazing because it starts as a paleo book.
That's so cool. Yeah, there's
And
one of the Baronosaur iguanodon right there.
yeah,
I might
and
have
I
one on my
just
wall
love
right now.
I
Yeah.
just love the idea of people sitting on a table or online starting to play D&D with this book, and they just scroll and they can learn about the Shishan formation.
Very cool. Yeah.
I mean,
Uh-huh. All these
it's
feathered dinosaurs
incredible.
from China. Yeah.
Yeah, and and also they spent a lot. You don't find this in normal paleo book. The flora of the formation.
So important. Yeah. Very, very cool.
And this is a Dungeons and Dragons book. I go crazy for this stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then you have, of course, Mark Wheaton, and Mark Wheaton makes. Let me find something. Yeah. So this is a monster that you can use in your adventure.
Uh-huh. Is that you, Tyrannus, right there?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
High quality paleo art done by paleo artists and paleontologists for a game. I go crazy.
That's so cool. Yeah.
I go crazy for this stuff.
Uh-huh.
So there is a new book coming soon, Professor Primula Portfolio of Paleontology.
Uh-huh.
They always use the first letter for everything. The Dr. Drolling Dictionary of Dinosaurs. You can remember them.
A lot of
Professor
alliteration.
Primula,
Yeah.
Professor of Paleontology. Which they are gonna include the Neanderthal as playable group of as a playable character.
Uh-huh.
And they explain a lot about Neanderthal biology. It's crazy.
Uh-huh.
It's wow.
Very cool.
So
what's the title again
might-
so that folks can check this book out?
Well, you can check Paleo Games.
Paleo Games. Okay.
Yeah, and in that you can find everything.
And this particular book that you were showing off, what was the title?
Dr. Drolling's Dictionary of Dinosaurs.
Dr. Drolling's Dictionary of Dinosaurs. Excellent.
I mean, last thing I'm going to show you. I mean, how can you not love this book when you discover that you have... Let me find it, because it's... When I realized who it was, how can you hate this book when you have literally a half orc John Hammond?
Oh, that's great.
This is the best book in the world.
That's really awesome. Yeah. And so this works with some of the stuff that you stream in your Italian language streams, right? So you're doing dice games, you're doing D&D, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, I don't know if you know about Beast of the Mesozoic, the one by David Silva.
The Beast of the Mesozoic, the action figures, the models. Yeah.
So you know that now he's doing a Cyberzoic, that is the modern Dino Riders. So he takes the Beast of the Mesozoic dinosaur and he put armors and stuff like Dino Riders, but he created this incredible lore, this incredible story to basically give a setting to his stories. Well, it's official that me, other two groups of Italy, and him, we are collaborating to create a Cyberzoic TTRPG game in the future. So a manual, basically you can play kinda D&D with Dino Riders. So next year we might provide material for it.
That's
We
really
are
exciting.
working
And
with
having
that.
paleontologists involved with the creative process here, I'm sure you're going to be inserting a lot of actual science in there to get people excited about real paleontology too. That's
It's a lot. It's a sci-fi setting, so there's gonna be a bit of twink there and there,
mhm,
but things about anatomy of animals, behavior of animals, absolutely.
very cool.
So
That's really exciting. So people can, when can they expect to see this?
So next year, and you
Next
have to
year.
take everything with gloves.
Sure, yeah.
Everything last next year, there's gonna be a huge game con for TTRPG festival in Italy,
Uh-huh.
where we are going to we are planned to present the so-called quick start. A quick
Uh-huh.
start is basically a little let's call it a magazine, a little brochure
Okay.
with the minimum requirements to play, like a very quick rules, quick characters, just to make
Mhm.
people try the game and maybe spot some problems, like a beta test.
Uh-huh.
If the beta test in the Italian Gamecom goes well, we will plan for a Kickstarter to kick in
Very cool.
next in summer 2026. But again, gloves, because
Right, yeah.
everything can happen,
With a grain
everything
of
can
salt, we
delay.
would say here in the United States. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Excellent. Well, that's really exciting. I really hope the beta test goes well. Because I'd love to help promote this on my stream. I'm sure
Listen,
you'll have a lot
one
of
of
people in
my
paleontology who are excited about this,
I
eager to
have
promote it.
I have two big dreams. One is very
Hmm.
feasible, one is impossible. But the feasible one, it will be to make one or two games on my Twitch with paleontologists with this
Uh-huh.
game in
Okay.
English. So you consider you invited, even if you have never played. I love to play with people that never played,
I've never
because
have before. It might be my first time.
pe- people that never played comes out with the best idea for narrative solution, because you are not
Nice.
because you are not constrained by rules, because you don't know
Right.
them, so you just
Thinking outside the
invent.
box, as we would say. Yeah.
And that's best. The impossible dream is to organize a table game, so with like physical people and not online,
Yeah.
at SVP.
At
Thomas
SVP.
Sol- Thomas Solz is an old game master for D&D. I
Really?
know Andrew
Okay.
I know Andrew Farkey plays a lot of D&D.
Uh-huh.
Daniel Dufault from Toronto plays a lot of D&D. There are
Okay.
many paleontologists playing D&D, and with this one,
Mm-hmm.
I so want to take an evening, and that's why it's impossible, because you cannot take an evening at SVP because you are dead, because you
Yeah.
are tired. But I really would love to take an SVP evening, take people, and have like a 4 or 5 hours of D&D session with dinosaurs, with
Uh-huh.
paleontologists. That's my dream.
I feel like that's possible. I feel like we could make that happen potentially, especially if we turn it into an outreach event. There are people in the
True.
leadership at SVP now who are very eager to do more outreach. That we could make that happen potentially. Yeah.
Now D&D starts to be like a big thing, like in feature where people look people playing. So that might be something. That's
Yeah, okay. We should talk about that.
yeah,
Yeah. You and I should discuss that at some point. Yeah.
yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Um, do you think Karyosikus could make an appearance in one of those campaigns potentially?
Absolutely,
That would be
absolutely.
really cool. Yeah. Um,
I'm actually in the. I was thinking that in the major. Now I'm going very nerdy here. I'm sorry. In the major setting for D&D, that is the Forgotten Realms.
mhm,
Basically, it's where they based the recent Dungeons and Dragons movie that was in the cinema. In the Forgotten Realms, there is a peninsula called the Chult, and the Chult is this tropical forest filled with dinosaurs, like
mhm.
dinosaurs everywhere. And
Huh.
there is actually a population there of humans and other fantasy creatures living in a city that basically is a Dinotopia from
Okay. Nice.
from the
James
the paleo
Gurney.
artist. Basically, is a James Gurney version of of Dinotopia.
Right.
And in this region, there is a god called Uptau that is the father of the dinosaur. Is the god of dinosaurs
Okay.
in the D&D realm. And I want to make Cariosecus the new Uptau, the new
Uh-huh.
iguana god. Yes.
I love that idea. That's really, really cool. Wow.
So sorry to go very nerdy
No,
now.
that's
But
okay. Yeah. No, I think that's fun. And so many people here on Twitch are interested in D&D as well. I feel like this is an excellent avenue for outreach. So, yeah. Again, if any of you are not yet following Dyson Dinosaur, you are missing out. Give him a follow right now and yeah, tune into some of his streams, especially the English language ones if you happen to speak English like I do. Yeah, on Sundays you say normally you do the English language streams, right? Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, Filippo. This is so exciting. I really appreciate the opportunity to interview you about this, and I can't wait to start seeing Karyusika show up in popular media, and I'm excited to talk about with some of my colleagues in the field next week. This is oh man, it's exciting stuff, and I hope that you get a lot of media coverage for this. You've already put together a ton of beautiful artwork. You've got an extraordinary fossil. I wish you all the best of luck when you're talking about this critter with journalists, with news organizations. Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me. Even though I kind of self-invited myself because
Thank you for
I'm
doing
a,
that. I've been so busy
because
lately that
I'm a
I needed
Aeon.
you to do that. So thank you. Yeah. And I appreciate you staying up so late too to be able to talk with us. I know how tired you are. So please get some good
the
rest
amount
because
the
yeah.
amount of adrenaline I got today wouldn't make me sleep. So
Well,
don't worry
try to
about.
get some good rest because I feel like you're going to have a lot of people knocking on your door asking to talk to you about this dinosaur. So I want to make
I
sure
already have
that
three. I already have three journalists calling today. So yeah.
excellent. Yeah. Hopefully you have 10 times as many in the next week. This is exciting stuff,
I
Filippo.
With the new paper coming out soon, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. And this will be good practice for the the Hadrosaur sex paper that comes out later. So this will be an excellent opportunity to
Uh,
practice your media
you said
skills
you said the
before that
word.
comes out because that's going to get some
You said
attention for sure.
you said the word. No, I tried to
Anyway,
be, at the beginning of the stream, I tried to be
yeah, no,
more
of
the
course, yeah, yeah,
mating paper. Others are sex.
reproductive
Yeah.
behaviors, sure, yeah, yeah. But anyway, this is really exciting stuff, Filippo. Thank you again for coming on here. I appreciate your time, and everybody in the chat, I'm sure, is really grateful too. So best of luck with all of your media stuff, and yeah, let me know when the other paper is going to come out, and
Absolutely.
I'll be thrilled to talk to you about it. And send me the 3D files for this too. I would love
Yeah,
to print this. Yeah,
I will.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so
I'll
much,
probably
Filippo.
I'll send it to you via email. So check the email.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent. All right.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you.
appreciate it,
Bye,
Filippo.
guys.
You get some good rest.
See ya.
I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.